Mixtape turns out to be a surprisingly controversial game. It's a coming-of-age narrative adventure, following 3 teenagers during their final day together, before they all go their separate ways. At first glance, it has everything going for it. The opening scenes immediately capture a nostalgic atmosphere, blending music, memories, and carefree teenage energy with a glorious animation style, clearly inspired by the Spider-Verse's stop-motion aesthetic. On paper, it sounds like a great play, but critics and player reviews differ heavily, so let's see what all the fuss is about. I'm going into this game completely blind, but one thing I do know is that for everyone who grew up during the late 90s or early 2000s, this looks like pure nostalgia-fueled bliss. But of course, this isn't a review, this is me, being eager to platinum Mixtape. It all starts off with a monologue from the game's protagonist, Stacey Rockford, as she meets up with her friends Van Slater and Cassandra Moreno. Tonight is their last night together in the city before they all head their separate ways for college, and the game opens up in a really cool way as we skate downhill back heading home. Messing around with tricks is met with shouts everyone used to do as kids when playing on the street. A small memory that I actually forgot about, and hearing it again genuinely made me chuckle. After crossing the bridge, we are introduced to the plan for the night.
Tonight, we're invited to Camille Cole's beach party. It's the tits, it's the jam, everyone's gonna be there. College kids, rich kids, athletes, horse girls, skaters. It's teenage high society. Right now, we have no booze, but we do have some leads. We'll start at my house, then on to Cassandra's, pre-drinks at our secret hideout, then arrive beachside at 9:45 p.m. It could be one of our greatest hits.
With a funny QTE handshake, we the player are informed that Stacey has wanted to be a music supervisor since 8th grade, so she's heading out to New York in the hopes to get work.
Stacey Rockford has wanted to be a music supervisor since 8th grade. I'm told her mixtapes are spectacular, though I've never heard one myself.
Once Bella Del Tone hears my mixtape, she'll make me her protege.
Unfortunately, the game's soundtrack is filled with copyright music, so I do suggest that if you are thinking of getting this game, your experience will be so much greater than watching this video. Unless you're watching wanting to hear someone else's opinion, then please make yourself comfortable. Settling up in Stacey's bedroom, attempting to be discreet about picking up booze and weed, the game sets us the player through nostalgic tropes we've long forgotten about, such as rewinding mixtapes. Now these pieces are used as flashbacks to the group's past, like Stacey's first awkward kiss, a silly mini-game added, which unlocks our first trophy for holding a kiss for 60 seconds. Now what the game doesn't tell you is that you only earn it after exiting the sequence, so I was waiting around for a while. The game captures that uncomfortable but exciting teenage vulnerability, showing how tiny moments can become funny memories to tell years later. I'm sure we all have a silly story of our past that we can tell new people that come into our life, or reminisce the memories with old friends. Now these memories continue with rewinding a video player that has the group thrashing out in a car. Each button we press has a different, dancey vibe to it, so it's quite fun mashing the buttons in time with the music. Few viewing more memories, another hilarious flashback we get is fleeing a house party that's been stopped by the police, and we escape in a trolley. Of course the story gets exaggerated by a news report of the crew being followed by a helicopter, and ending with a big fat splash in the sea.
Back there in the studio, I've been reporting in the field for well over 40 years now, and I've only seen this 5 or 6 times.
At least, that's how I remember it.
Stacy frequently breaks the fourth wall here, introducing songs from the game's soundtrack as she's curating the perfect mixtape for the night. Beneath the laid-back conversations is a little bit of anxiety about the future and what happens once the night ends, perfectly summed up by this clip.
This is our graduation road trip. It was. We've been planning it since we met Cassandra freshman year. From Blue Moon Lagoon to the Sea Glass Museum, a bunch of other crappy places, down through West Hollywood to check out the Vinyl Countdown in Hot Rocks, finishing outside Cassandra's college for orientation. I'll be in New York this time tomorrow. Slater and Cass are leaving without me. This has been the cause of much friction.
It's quite sad to look through as they've all clearly planned out so many things that they want to do in each stop on the travels, and it would have been a great memory they'll remember forever. But with killing enough time, they grab the little booze they have. Moving on to Stacy's sister's room, we are in search of more alcohol, and we find the origins of why Stacy hates Jenny Goodspeed so much.
This is Cassandra and me at some mandatory school thing. I love this photo of us. Jenny fucking Goodspeed jumped in and I had to cut her out. Jenny sucks.
An ongoing reference. As we attempt to create the perfect slushy, this is where we see that Stacy and Jenny are just complete polar opposites. She completely dislikes it because Jenny isn't just into music as Stacy is.
I don't really listen to the music. I just watch it.
I know everything I need to know about you.
A flashback is brought up of Stacy and Van hanging out in the photo booth, which we can position them to take silly photos. As we come back into the present day, it seems that the two, well in my opinion anyway, have more than a friendship going on. If not paying attention to the music, it can pass you by, but the songs tend to invoke an emotion of giving the sequence a bittersweet feeling, not expressing true emotions to each other, whilst of course adding humour and the ever-creeping reality of this being their last night together as time ticks by. Part of my thoughts are also stated by a letter left by her older sister.
Stacy, if you're reading this, it means you're rifling through my closet for booze.
It's true.
I knew this day would come. I saw it in a dream. And so I have placed this letter here for future Stacy to tell her this. Your time in Blue Moon Lagoon will not last forever. Life changes quickly. Leave nothing unsaid. I'll call you from New York. I love you and you're gonna be fine. Kisses, kitten. P.S. For booze, check attached photo.
Whoa.
Look at that stash.
Where is it? The Ritz? Yeah. It's a clue, I guess.
We've been to the Ritz 1,000 times. There's nothing there.
Obviously it's hidden. She must have left more clues.
Another mystery from Debbie Rockford. It's like when she gave us the map.
Yeah, the map. Wow. How long ago was that?
3 years ago. The day she left.
With the clue left behind in Stacy's sister, Debbie's room, a flashback takes place where the crew head towards an abandoned shack known as the Ritz, a place once served as a popular hangout spot. The journey there was presented in a highly romanticized, almost mythical way. The whole sequence feels like a poem brought to life. With the crew floating through the air, very angelical, the world seems to react to your presence. Whenever your feet touch the ground, flowers will bloom in your wake. The game does a fantastic job of matching the music to the scene, elevating what could have been a simple transition into one of the most memorable moments so far.
It's the fucking Ritz.
Yeah, but shitty. Filthy. Like us.
This could be our kingdom.
We could get fucked up here.
Completing all of the flashbacks found in Stacy and Debbie's rooms unlocks the respective trophy for that chapter. Now with plans of heading to Cassandra's home, the crew continue their journey. Feeling confident, I decided to attempt to jump over a car, which rewarded me with another trophy. The cockiness did indeed come to bite me back, but the game is very generous and only rewinds back a few seconds for the player to continue. Stopping by the lake to stone skip, the three talk through the leaving versus staying tension that is building up throughout the day. An unmissable trophy is in this section. Aiming to throw a stone through the tire swing on the right side of the lake will earn a Skin Gordon trophy. Arriving at Cassandra's house gives us a deeper look into who she is beyond the confident persona she presents to her friends. Much like Stacy's room earlier in the game, Cassandra's bedroom acts as a character study, filled with personal items and memories. Here you can see she has very little design over her room, due to her parents being very strict on her, topped off with her father being a police officer. She does have one small board in the corner of her room, where you can see her show her personality, but it's a recipe for disaster. Cassandra, feeling increasingly controlled by her family, has finally had enough and wants to rebel. This is shown through a flashback of how the trio first met at school, giving us an insight to how the friendship started.
Yeah?
I've decided to disappoint my parents.
Dope.
This year, I want to ride a flaming stallion of delinquency.
Yes.
What's your name again?
Exploring the room more opens up conversations about their own plans for the future, and a desire to escape the endless after-school activities her parents have signed her up for. It's their personalities, not hers. The flashbacks that follow paint a picture of who she really is. We relive memories of softball games, TP in the principal's house, which ultimately ends up with Cassandra taking the blame so her friends can escape. Despite a rebellious streak, it's obvious she's always been fiercely loyal to the people who she cares about. One unintentionally hilarious moment comes from when Stacy discovers a photo of Cassandra with her sworn enemy, Jenny Goodspeed. This unlocks a painful memory of Stacy wanting to spend time with Cassandra, only for Cass to claim she was ill, before later being spotted hanging out with Jenny instead. The game presents his memory through a bleak, grayscale sequence, as Stacy slowly floats away, consumed by teenage heartbreak. The start that got me chuckling was when Stacy starts clicking her fingers with the melancholic music, fully embracing the woe is me energy, all because her friend is hanging out with someone else. Discovering a bottle on the rooftop unlocks a much sweeter memory between Stacy and Cassandra. The two spend an evening together, simply enjoying each other's company and opening up about what their friendship means to them. It's a genuinely lovely scene, late night talks you've all had with mates before, the complete opposite of the scene previous. The next trophy is when we need to replace Van's Mini-Master batteries. Once done, we can take a look through the photos, triggering another flashback, where the three sneak into an abandoned dinosaur-themed park. Taking 20 photos whilst everyone poses with the interactables pops the Don't Move trophy. This experience is interrupted as Cass's dad comes home early. Here is where we realise that Cassandra's description of her father isn't exaggerated, as he shows his firm side. Knowing that there's a party they want to attend later, he questions them for more information. Asking for Stacy and Van to leave so he can talk to his daughter alone, he demands that she stays home, even if it is their last night together before they all go their separate ways. Upset with what's being told, Cass argues back, leading to the father confronting her about her recent behaviour with skipping classes and finding her lighter. He can't tolerate her behaviour anymore, so much so that he won't be letting her go to university this year, something she's been excitedly waiting for a while, so that she can escape and be herself for once.
If you're not grown enough for a privilege like this, then we'll wait till you are! Now, get out of my house.
You promised you'd go to Camille Cole's party.
What?
You promised! It'll ruin my soundtrack.
I'm fucking grounded.
Sneak out.
I wouldn't have to sneak out if you weren't leaving.
This is where I begin to have a problem with Stacy. After all that she's heard, you'd think that you'd support your friend, but Stacy is annoyed that Cass won't be going to the party, ruining the night and the playlist she's perfectly curated for the day, leaving her enraged. Completing all the memories in Cassandra's room earns the Matching the Drapes trophy.
I no.
As the night's plan begins to fall apart, Stacy and Van make their way to the Ritz, continuing their search for booze using clues left behind by Stacy's sister. And the journey there is absolute chaos. Flipping off everything and everyone in sight causes the targeted object to explode. Post boxes, cars about to block our path, shop windows, and even the world's largest gumball machine are all fair game. Upon arriving at the Ritz, it's immediately obvious why it became such a popular youth hangout. The abandoned shack is littered with old furniture, graffiti, and random belongings left behind over the years. Much like the bedrooms explored earlier in the game, interacting with certain objects triggers flashbacks. This time, however, each flashback is tied to a timed trophy challenge. The first is Sofa King Fast, where a couch must be moved into position within 30 seconds. Completing the challenge rewards us with a torn piece of a Polaroid photograph, and it becomes clear that collecting all of these fragments will reveal the location of the booze left behind by Stacy's sister. Next is the Painted Black If You Want To trophy, which requires painting an entire door in under 30 seconds. This one took me several attempts. More than once I was convinced I'd covered every inch of the door, only for the trophy not to pop. Eventually it unlocked, though I'm still not entirely sure what I was missing during my earlier attempts. The third challenge is for the Leaves That Are Green trophy, and it asks Stacy to clear an area of leaves in under 45 seconds. Compared to the previous task, this one is fairly straightforward and rewards us with another piece of the photograph. Finally, From the Hip trophy requires hitting every can and bottle on top of a car within 30 seconds. It's a simple enough challenge and provides the final piece of the puzzle. With all 4 fragments collected, Stacy and Van are able to piece together the torn photograph and discover the location of the alcohol. Hidden away inside the abandoned shack lies the treasure they've been searching for all day. After the initial excitement wears off, the two take a moment to sit quietly and figure out what to do next. This is when they hear a rustling sound from nearby, and out of nowhere, Cassandra emerges, escaping from her house, and the trio are finally reunited. The friends embrace with joy, relieved to be together again after being separated. That is until Stacy realizes that Cass has brought someone along with her, Jenny fucking Goodspeed. The very last person Stacy wanted to see has somehow found her way to their secret hangout. With tensions immediately rising, Stacy decides she needs a private conversation with Cassandra to find out exactly why she thought bringing Jenny along was a good idea. So Stacy's upset that Cassandra has brought Jenny to their secret hangout, reminding her that they had always promised never to tell anyone about the Ritz. Cassandra, however, doesn't see the problem. After tonight, they're all going their own way and moving on with their lives. This is it, she argues. None of us are ever coming back here after tonight, so why does it matter who gets to experience it? It's a clash of personalities. Throughout the game, Stacy has been trying to carefully curate the perfect final night together, putting together the ultimate mixtape. Every stop, every memory, and every song has been chosen to preserve what she believes their friendship is. Cassandra sees things differently. Rather than following Stacy's carefully planned itinerary, she'd rather embrace the chaos, invite her other friends along, and simply enjoy whatever the night becomes. The argument reaches its peak when Cassandra tells Stacy a cutting remark, especially after everything we've learned about Cassandra's relationship with her controlling parents.
You're acting like my dad.
Stacy believes she's protecting one last perfect memory, but from Cassandra's perspective, she's doing exactly what she spent her whole life trying to escape, being told what to do and how the night should unfold. Neither of them are entirely wrong. Stacy's desperately trying to hold on to something that's slipping away, while Cassandra has already accepted that change is inevitable and wants to make the most of what's left. Unfortunately, in this situation, it becomes a falling out.
Why are you being such a dick?
Because you messed up our trip. You couldn't wait one more week?
The road trip? We'll go next year. It's not a big deal.
It's a big deal to me. This is the first time I'll be out on my own. I wanted you there.
You should be happy for me.
Jenny's coming with us to LA.
What?
Hey, I'll just go. I've got some friends drinking at the Heaven 11.
You're replacing me with Jenny? When were you gonna tell me?
Why do we have to run everything by you? You're ditching us.
I'm not ditching you. Grow up.
You don't get to leave and still tell us what to do. We're not your fucking sidekicks.
I think we should probably chill out.
You're being an asshole.
Fuck off.
With Van comforting Stacy after the argument, the pair head back to his house to figure out what to do next. Like Stacy and Cassandra's rooms before, this chapter offers a breather, while giving us a deeper look into Van's character. Through the objects in his room, we discover he's a talented artist and musician, earning genuine praise from Stacy. One of the funniest flashbacks sees the trio drunkenly attempting to rent a film inside a knockoff blockbuster. Van stumbles around, knocking over everything in sight. These memories also tie into 2 trophies, requiring you to knock over 200 VHS tapes off the shelves in the video store, and to do the same to every character cardboard cutout. Completing every memory in Van's room unlocks the 8-minute Odyssey trophy. Then the two are interrupted by a knock at the door. It's Cassandra's dad, warning Van's mum about the illegal beach party planned for later that night, and suggesting she keep the kids indoors, just as he's doing with Cassandra. Before leaving, he mentions he's been called to deal with reports of underage drinking at a nearby shop. Stacy immediately suspects Cassandra is involved, and races out of the house, hoping to reach her friend before the police do. We must slide under and jump over obstacles that block our way. Eagle-eyed viewers will notice that during our run, we can see a police car in the background. Whilst that car takes the road, we'll be taking many shortcuts through construction sites, gardens, houses, parties, and a school. We must avoid missing a single jump or slide whilst making our way to Cassandra to earn the Well Take a Look at You trophy. Arriving just before the police turn up, Stacy manages to cause a distraction to draw attention. Whilst that's going on, she can sprint over to warn Jenny and Cassandra about what's about to happen. With Cassandra being pushed and hidden in the rubbish by a dumpster, Jenny is told to run. Now the only visible person would be Stacy, who will inevitably take all the blame and be taken to the station, but not before one last expression to show how much she cares for her friend she'd recently fallen out with, by sticking up for her and telling her father why she's dropping out of activities her parents so desperately wanted to be involved in. Cassandra is searching for something that's not planned out, something that belongs to her, and her friends support that. Now stuck in the car, with the dad going to investigate the area, it seems that all hope is lost and Cassandra will be found. That is until Van saves the day, opening up the car door, allowing the two to grab Cassandra, then flee. With the group now all together again, it seems that we are near the final act of the game, but we've missed out on a few trophies so far. So I think it will be best at this point to go back and do a cleanup of the trophies that will be needed before finishing the game. So this game has been heavily criticised for not really being a game, but more of a movie. At the time of recording, there was a patch, which perhaps may have made you actually have to play the game and move around for certain trophies. But they are all still simple to achieve. You can't just rest the control on the ground for the trophies to pop anymore. Well, for me I couldn't anyway. Turns out that I had missed quite a few, and thankfully there is a chapter select. Starting back with attempting to escape a party, we must not crash once while escaping in the shopping cart. For my first attempt, I put the controller down to test if the exploit still worked, and I crashed, so I had to do it again, but it was easy. In the smooth shopper trophy. Next up is the grunge metal alchemist trophy, requiring us to make Van's secret slushy recipe, where I did have to look up the order online. To skate into Stacy's house, there will be traffic cones at certain parts. Knocking over 10 pops the Cone Island baby trophy. Most trophies missed were mainly at Cassandra's house. The first flashback was to only hit home runs, with each hit causing a stadium to grow around the local baseball field. One I thought I got but missed out on was throwing 50 rolls at the house. I don't know why I enjoyed this one so much, but I did. When Stacy is having a depressive moment, we will need to move and hit the 3 pig balloons. The sneaky thing with this one is that the trophy won't appear until the sequence is complete. The front to back trophy needs us to find everything in the bedrooms of the characters and have all unique conversations. There is a type of icon hovering over the items you haven't encountered yet, so they aren't that hard to spot. Then one more time-based trophy is to complete the Mini-Master assembly in under 15 seconds. I did forget to mention that one more section I had to redo was related to the Appetite for Destruction trophy, which was for exploding all the objects on our way to the Ritz secret hideout. Now, back to the much anticipated present day. With the 3 escaping, they take a moment to catch their breath. After hearing all the lovely things Stacy had to say about Cassandra, the two apologise to each other about the way they treated one another recently. Discovering that the police have ended the party that they've been eagerly anticipating, they are stuck on what to do next. That is until they bump into the people hosting it, on their way to find another location. And the 3 know just the place.
Yeah, we know a place. Can I pick the music?
One of the last missable trophies is up next. The Band in Massachusetts trophy is for not missing any fireworks in the coastal cruise. On our way to the Ritz, we are taken on a journey across the coast, in which we must trigger the fireworks to explode. Judging by the forum posts, it's a really tricky trophy to pop. Instead of hitting the button prompts given, we should spam the square button, which is more simple and less likely to miss not triggering a firework.
This is a hit.
It's a hit.
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
With the party at the Ritz all set up, it's now time for documentation. I remember doing things like this as a teenager, so you do chuckle at some of the interactions here that bring back some awesome memories for me. Although some are quite exaggerated, the last missable trophy of the game is here, and for the Fight for Your Right trophy, we must acquire all the items at the party. These items are basically drinks and snacks for Van to consume. Looking around, we can see things referenced earlier in the game to bring out a laugh. And finally, Stacy and Jenny getting along? A sight no one thought they'd see at the start of the game. The adolescent romanticism continues, where the trio sit on top of the Ritz, overlooking the party. They all talk about what comes next. Everything they'll lose will cross their minds. With the last days of school finishing up, and the strange cast of characters you've met along the way, separate to different places in life. Of course, Stacy, Van, and Cassandra won't. Even though they'll all have different plans for the summer, and are going their separate ways, the crew say they'll plan to meet again. Grabbing their attention is a rogue firework that hits the abandoned shack, causing a spectacular end to the party. Time to flee. With distant sirens coming ever closer, who else could it be? Cassandra's dad approaches. The sight of him puts her at breaking point. She has had enough. All of the years of not being heard, being told what to do, and being controlled causes her to express herself. In this moment, it finally causes the dad to listen, allowing them to flee before more police arrive. The final chapter brings a whirlwind of the previous night to a close. After hours of desperately trying to make one epic last night, the morning comes closer and the trio decide to head home. The excitement and chaos have faded, and the crew have confronted the fact that their lives are about to change. While nothing can stop them from going their separate ways, they've at least been able to share one final adventure together. Now at Cassandra's house, she hugs Van and Stacy tightly, and reminding Stacy to call her as soon as she touches down in New York in the hopes of becoming a music supervisor. Now with Van walking Stacy to her house, he hands her his music he created for her travels. Knowing that it'll be a while when they meet again, the two say that they'll see each other tomorrow, as they can't bear to say goodbye. Stacy, Van, and Cassandra have given their heartfelt goodbyes, and now they'll be moving on to new places, meeting new people and living different lives. There's a sadness in it, but excitement for what's to come. Although the writing at parts is a bit corny, the game covers that bittersweet period at the end of adolescence, where you're caught between holding on to the past and stepping into the future. Mixtape closes on a heartfelt note, reminding us that while people, places, and routines inevitably change, the memories we make and the music that becomes tied with them stay with us. And with completing the game, the final trophy pops, rewarding us with the Platinum Trophy. If you've played this game, let me know your thoughts. I hope I did it justice telling parts of the story. I do feel it's unfairly criticised. It's not as bad as lots have made it out to be, but I am a sucker for coming of age stories, so I don't know if I'm looking through it with rose tinted glasses. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you again soon for some more Platinum content.